Mm. I believe we have gotten to the bottom of this thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's Outward. When Souls games aren't annoying, tongue-in-cheek, pun intended, right? We're going to get into some fantastic discussions as we play Outward, because this is the first game to take what is referred to as like Souls-like mechanics and make a game that's not only supremely enjoyable and good, but a game that I revere as one of the best games that came out in this last generation that we just walked out of. This is one of my favorite games from last generation. There's a lot of reasons for that. This playthrough is going to explain those reasons. All right? So I was making it a point on this YouTube channel to get to a point where we're like, all right, listen, enough trying new stuff. I've been playing video games for 411 years, man. They haven't done anything I haven't seen yet, right? So rather than trying out all this new stuff as if any of these developers are going to make stuff that I supremely like, which is highly unlikely, especially the AAA developers, let's just stick to the stuff we know we like. And then every once in a while, we'll venture out. All right? We'll venture out, try something new. If it doesn't work, you know, unfortunately, I'm holding a copy of Chronos Before the Ashes here. Fortunately, some games just don't work out for us. I don't think it's a terrible game. It definitely needs some work. I definitely think it could have used some more time in the cooker before it dropped. But hey, man, listen. It is leaps and bounds beyond anything I could ever make. So hats off to the designers and developers for continuing their dream. I hope they keep making games, and I hope eventually they make one that I actually really like, and that isn't a love-hate where I love certain things about it and then I hate all the other stuff. All right, settings. We're going to have to go ahead and reverse that Y camera. This game is fantastic, by the way. It doesn't get enough love or attention. One of the other interesting things, for those of you who've been around me talking about video games since way back in the day, when my company, Alloy 7, used to review them, a lot of the stuff you've heard me say I hate in video games, this game does. But it does it so daggum well, I don't even trip. You're gonna see. You're gonna see. Let's get into it. Let's not do too much right cheer. Let's get into the groove. How we doing on sound, everybody? We got typical Iowans in the house. How we doing today? We're all doing amazing. Iowan, good to see you. Yehu says, great game plan. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you. How are we doing on sound? Can you guys hear the game? I turned the volume down a bit because on my end it is blasting. And can you hear me clearly over the very loud music in my ears right now? But on y'all's end, it should be quieter than it is on mine. Oh, shite monkeys. Did it take the other thing I did? Yeah, all right. Apply it. And let's get started, man. Enough of this chit-chatting. That's what I yell at video games for doing, is too much chit-chat. We're going to start a new game for one player right now. Choose a game mode. Oh, snap. Do we have to play this on hardcore? I don't remember. I need to look up the achievement. I pulled them up already, so... Alright, I'm not seeing anything for difficulty, so... Outward. Difficulty, effect, achievements. I can't believe this game doesn't have an achievement guide yet. That's criminal. Far lesser games have gotten one. But I think that not enough people have played this game for those wonderful nerds. I love them. For them to have made it. Interesting. So, I bet you this game was... Never mind, there is a guide for it. I'm just playing it on Xbox, and I bet PlayStation is where this game got most of its love. That's where I actually played it first, but this time we're going to be playing through it to get all the achievements. Let's see. All right, difficulty does not affect the achievement. I couldn't remember if it did. I thought it didn't. And thank you, developers, for making difficulty not affect the achievements. That's another... I'm coming out the gate praising this game. Just, this game is so sexual. All right, loud and clear. My name is not Jim. My name. Orion. One of the things I hope I am able to do. So one of the things I did the first time I played through this game, which I did stream quite a bit of it back in my Twitch days, I got an item early in the game that apparently is a super rare drop. Like I got it within the first hour of exploring, and it was allegedly this super rare drop, but I never took that piece of equipment off the whole game because it is fantastically useful, and I'm praying we get it again in this playthrough. You'll see what I'm talking about if we get it. If we get it. Is this Idris Elba? That dude, like, he's about to crap himself. Man, can we make slightly more handsome face things? Okay, yeah, we can make him more handsome. All right, well, let's go to the Asian cat, because that's usually the race that looks the most like me. Damn. These cats having a rough go. I think this is who I went with the first time I played through the game, because that pretty much looks the most like me out of all the things. But let's try the brothers. Woo! That brother is great. Maybe this dude. I can see him pushing through. Yeah, let's go with this brother. Hairstyle. No. Yep, that's the hairstyle I had too. But if we get the item that I want to get, you're never going to see my hair. You're not going to see it for long. Is that the only two hairstyles? Oh no, there's quite a few. Oh, the soundtrack is dope too. Oh, and the story. God, there's so much I gotta say about this game. So good. But I will say this: it's definitely not going to be for everybody. You got to be kind of a quirky weirdo like me. Oh, I bought my third copy of Two Worlds Collector's Edition today. When I went to pick this up, they had another copy, and I said, "Is the owner effing with me?" Because we're acquaintances. I know the owner of the store. It's like, hey, does he know I'm coming? Like when I make an order and then he puts another one out on the shelf, like he's gonna buy another one. Like he's got to know I'm the only cat buying this game ever, anywhere in the history of all time. Hell yeah, is that an afro? No, it's a big old church lady. Like these. Let's go with these. That way I can look like my son. Still can't adjust height. Broken Super says, yo, Remnant is free this month, so I had to check it out. So far, so mediocre. Yep, it's about what it is, man. You're going to get very bored with it because you're going to learn quickly that you're not going to get the same reward, pleasure from combat that you would get from Bloodborne, simply because the combat is not nuanced. It's just, can you survive the ungodly wave of enemies we just threw at you? Go. And you can't. The answer is no. Eventually they're going to overrun you unless you retreat, and then the gameplay gets tedious because it takes too damn long to level up, which seems to be the thing with modern RPGs. Let's take forever to let the player feel like he's getting stronger, because our game needs to be 200 hours, so he'll keep playing it so we can collect data on him so we can sell him more shit. God, just can we go back to the way some things were? I don't want to go back to everything, but damn. Oh, my bad. I'm supposed to be reading. All my life, I've lived within the safety of Ciezo, spared the brutality of the world outside. But life in the Ori is never that easy. For all the safety that my tribe provides, our laws are harsh. We are judged not as individuals, but as bloodlines. The failures of my bloodline weigh heavy on me. My grandmother brought ruin to our tribe long ago, bringing a heavy blood price upon my family. We've paid the debt caused by her actions ever since. I joined an expedition across the sea with my old friend Izan, hoping the money I made there would be enough to clear my debts. This was a mistake. I'm lucky to still be breathing after our ship hit rocks on the return voyage. Now I have no choice but to pick myself up yet again and face the wild, untamed land outside the walls. I must carve out my own future, or die trying. Alright, so right off the Brizache, blam, we getting trophies off the break! I mean achievements or whatever they are. One of the things I gots to do, and I mean gots to do, early in the game is figure out and remember the controls. Because I do not remember them whatsoever. And that's how I beat the hell out of people. How I pick up stuff. Shouldn't I be able to pick up this guy's stuff? Alright, now the game's too quiet. Scooby-Doo. Anyway, lots to say about Outward. This is a fantastic game that I think does not... You always hear the cliche, this doesn't get enough attention, but it does. Because the people who it's meant for play it. And I think sometimes in life we just need to accept that everything ain't for everybody. And the masses are called the masses for a reason. They like mass shit. I got me some gabberries. Gabberies, however it's said. I love how it just see how it put the gear on me automatically. Thank you, game designers. You are model, I would say Americans, but nah. I don't think I can gather water because I don't have a water skin. But I will soon, milady. There it is. That's the button we're looking for. That's a big ass conch shell, bruh. That's a big ass shell, I said. Yo, mama's a big ass shell. Who is he talking to? Is he responding to himself? Yes, Johnny. The fishing harpoon, Jesus. Quite correct. The terrible trivium. Oh, that's right. I gotta remember to do that. Can't remember if you could jump in this game or not. You are thirsty, ho. Alright, let's go get some ho. Oh, don't drink the salt water, though. That's death. There's always a reward for being willing to explore. What's my reward today? It's gonna be a junk pile that has what in it? Ooh, linen cloth. I remember that becomes useful, as does flint and steel. Very well. Yeah, this is all useful stuff. Take it. Just gotta watch my carry weight. Gotta watch my carry weight, Jesus. Let's get into some fisticuffs. Alright, Suba says, I lost my first couple engagements trying to figure out how combat works. And the chick is like, let me give you this. I suck at this discount. Playing on the hardest non-nightmare. Oh, dude, the easy difficulty is ridiculously hard in that game. I don't recommend the harder difficulties. They just get ridiculous. I don't think I've ever played any game, really, where the higher difficulty setting actually made the game. Maybe Witcher 3 has a good use of the harder difficulty. I'm trying to think of other stuff. A mine and pick. Oh, was that clean water? That was clean water, son. Let us drink it. Delicious. We are not thirsty anymore. But we are over encumbered. I think we're getting close to it, perhaps. Alright, fisticuffs. Alright, the dance begins. Gotta remember, that's it. Now we in there. Ah, got me. Caught me slipping. Alright, come on. Let's do the dance, baby. I gotta remember how to play this game, dude. Alright, we're getting back in. This is some serious muscle memory right here. My ass whipped too. Whew. Alright, yeah, combat, you can get your ass beat in this game, even off the basic enemies. But as I get back used to playing it, we'll get back to right. Nice move, Wolf, but I still cut your ass. Peace! Good fight, Wolf. I gotta get better. I already know I gotta get better at fighting, because if the Wolves are kicking my ass, this is not going to go bueno. Oh, I got new gear when I went in there. Yes, I did. Oh. Yeah, you get over encumbered pretty quick in this game before you start getting some of your gear and whatnot. Let's go ahead and... I thought there was a water skin somewhere around there. Broken Super says, I'll probably switch, but I wanted to get a taste of it. Couldn't remember what difficulty. I think I went with normal, but here's the deal. I'm pretty sure I went with normal. The problem is that game is meant to be played multiplayer. So if you're playing it, because I imagine they have the super hard difficulties. Because if you remember the guy we were playing with named Data, he was like a level 200. So he was murdering a lot of the stuff that I was playing against. And if you had 4 of him in the game, they'd be virtually unkillable. So I think the harder difficulties are for bands of 3 or 4 people who are super strong. But the game, like, just wait till you start having the boss fights where you're like, how in the name of Christ am I actually supposed to beat this without help? Because it's not that it's hard. The patterns are very simple. It's that you're just overwhelmed. You're just constantly, they're throwing the kitchen sink at you because I just think I don't think Gunfire Games handles difficulty very well. I don't imagine it's a very large team of people making these games. Izan, what's up, home?
What you need? We're not far from home. You can see the lighthouse from here, can't you? He's a Kazite. He was born on a ship. Go ahead and sleep in one of the extra bedrolls.
Okay. Might as well, because my stamina is gone. Get me a nappy nap. Got it. All right. Go ahead and get us a little bite to eat, and then go on to sleep. Sleepy time, y'all. Yeah, so I think I played on easy difficulty, Sue, because it's just ridiculous, man. That game is ridiculous. You can play along with people in your friends list. Try the multiplayer, either in split screen or online. Silence whore. This game would be interesting online, like playing multiplayer. So far, my biggest problem is since the enemies spawn, you don't know where they are. Yep. you, well, what you will figure out is the spawn points. You'll figure them out. They get really easy to predict because the levels, even though they're procedurally generated or whatever, it's all the same map, just like a puzzle piece flipped around. So it's all the same shit. Let's see. Suba says, it feels like Gunfire wants to innovate by adding elements from different games. But there's a reason Soulsborne enemies are static. It's not innovation, it's ignorance. That's an interesting statement. I'm not sure I 100% follow what you mean. What's ignorance? That's a really profound statement. Also, did you get my last voice message about breaking down why the... Actually, you must not have gotten it, because if you did, I didn't see your answer. Oh, and the music in this game is ill! Super dope. Back in your old bed in Sierzo, boy! Oh, that's right. Dagnabbit, I didn't finish grabbing stuff in the beginning area. I forgot when you go to sleep, they just warp you all the way back here. Typical Iowan says, I've also been playing Remnant, and it has some really cool ideas and mechanics, but I can see why you stopped playing it. Yeah, I agree with you. Well, and I stopped playing it because I finished everything too. Like I finished everything, but but the little silly horde mode, never-ending freaking dungeon crawl part. So I stopped playing it because I was done. I beat the game. I killed the Queen of England's grandmother, or whatever that Queen Ascal lady was. Yeah, I mean, so I was done as far as I was concerned. And because that multiplayer mode just sucked. It's like, this isn't fun, man. This is not me cup of tea, Billy. Now I'm really overweight. Ah, there she is. The primitive satchel! I can press a button and it's on my back. Now I'm no longer over encumbered, baby. Go pick up all my stuff again. Yeah, show you right. Actually, am I still not over encumbered? Yep, you still are. That satchel ain't do shit. Get your ass up out of here. What you got in the stash for me? Alright, so let's put everything we don't need in the stizash. There we go. Now we're smoking. Alright, game time, baby. I can move freely about the world. At least for the next 2 minutes before I have to go back into my inventory. Typical Iowan says, and some of the bosses are complete bullshit. Yeah, and that goes back to what I was saying. It's very clear that many of the bosses were made. I honestly believe that game was never meant to be a single player game. I think they either wanted to make an MMO or like a multiplayer only Left 4 Dead but with RPG elements is what I think they were going for. Because there's no way that game is balanced for single player. Like some of the boss fights you can barely beat. And you got to try them 1,000 times. And the Iskall Queen, I could not beat her by myself. I mean, unless I wanted to spend another 7 years leveling up my character just so he could survive the onslaught of silliness. You know what I mean? So I'm 100% with you, dude. That game is less than plaisant. I got some jelly and some jam. Let's make it. Craft up, baby. Holla at you. Cierzo ceviche recipe has been added, and so has my torch, yo. Wait, doesn't it automatically hang it off your bag? I thought it did. Is that a bedroll, son? Hell yeah, I didn't even know I had that. Yes, please equip it. Oh no, I gotta carry it till I get my real backpack. Ain't that a hooker and a hoe? That's redundant, Bryant. No, it's not. You can be a hoe without being a hooker. But you cannot be a hooker without being a whore. Alright, let's go brave the wild, baby. Actually, let's go get unencumbered, then we'll go brave the wild. Broken Super says, so for all its difficulty, one of the things Soulsborne does to make the game palatable is having static enemies. They're there the entire time, so if you keep track in group versus one, you're good. Having Remnant introduce spawns seems like innovation, but they don't have the tightness and the nuance of combat. So, yo, 100%. Yes. And they were also trying to, on the sneak tip, make a damn MMO that wasn't one. And that's one of the things I railed against that game for. Like, you're making an MMO into a freaking quasi-multiplayer game. That is bad. Those two design philosophies don't belong together. I don't want to grind for 600 hours in your mediocre-ass third-person shooter. Are you kidding me? Ugh. No and thank you. Alright, what's weighing a brother down now? Well, according to this, nothing should be. Oh, it's not. I'm good. I'm good, baby. Get on your horse. Harley says, what up, Brian? We making Suba pay our bills tonight? I don't know. Oh, shit, the whole town came. What's up, peeps?
Rise and shine, Trog spawn. You think you can nip off for 4 months and not pay what you owe the tribe?
Fuck did you call me?
A blood price is sacred. You can't just shrug off that responsibility.
If I don't see the money from you by the time I count to 10, you'll regret you ever came home. that ship too, weren't you? How many lives must your family be responsible for destroying before enough is enough?
If you can't make the payments you missed, we will seize your home!
Enough of this! 12 people are dead. Stop this shameful behavior at once.
Glad somebody spoke up, because I was about to start shooting people in the ass.
To threaten someone like this while the lost lives are still fresh is an insult to their memory.
I agree.
But, Chamber Lady Aberdeen,
I said that is enough! If you want to resume discussions after the mourning period, feel free. Oliel, see these people off, would you?
You heard, Mother. Away with you, or I will personally see to it that you get double shifts of guard duty.
Yeah, double shift them, girl. Marrying your ass. Who's that?
I'm sorry that was the first thing you woke
It's
up
all right.
to.
Humans are stupid.
Please forgive them. Many of them have lost family and are not thinking
I
straight.
understand. Still go kill them, though. You know that, right? You know I'm killing them. I plan on killing everybody in this town. Actually, there is a way. Let me stop. Let y'all enjoy the story. All right, I'm sorry you just woke up.
If I could do more, I would. The most I can do for you is declare a mourning period and buy you a little time. That gives you a few days to pay back the money.
Understood.
Either gather the money or earn a tribal favor, and they won't be able to touch you. Once you can make the payment, come see me. Please find a way to make it work. That does seem like your most effective
Roger.
option, dangerous as it is. Never forget, no one is an orphan in Cierzo. Do not hesitate to ask the rest of the tribe for survival advice.
Understood.
If you can do a great deed for someone in Cierzo, we will owe you a tribal favor. Once you're ready to leave Cierzo, speak with Burak, the gate warden. Remember, you only have a few days. May your ancestors watch over you.
Thank you, Risa. I'm gonna marry your ass when this is all over, lady. It's gonna be me and you. We're gonna run this town after I kill everybody. Now, let's go kick ass. Actually, I think this is who we marry.
I'm glad you survived the
Yeah,
wreck.
lady girl. Me too.
Rufus commissioned it for me as a going-away present.
Looks like we about to get intimate, lady. Come on now.
But with the shipwreck, it wouldn't be right to leave so soon. I know. Risa has already promised me that she and I will be having a long talk. I know. I'll miss you and Izan too. But this is the path I choose to walk. Farewell, my friend.
Love you, girl. Gonna be great. All I'm gonna do is keep giving you love. That's all I got in my heart. Okay. Hey, hey. I do not need a quarters. But I can sell that bitch. Come here. Come here, ho. Hey, can we put the silly thing away? Oh, I will shoot you inside. Hold on. All right, I really got to get back used to playing this game. You are the whore of Babylon. And all right, now then. Now we smoke. Let's get to work. Scooby-Doo.
Is there something you need? Can you help with this? Excellent.
What you got for me, G? Want to see that new backpack you got on your back? Eat that thing. How much gold do I have? Ooh, I have enough for that too. Might want to go ahead and just spend the loot and then get down to business. Did I mention I liking the music? Oui. Actually, I have exactly enough to get both, son. And we're gonna do some good shopping with your ass, man. And let's get us a backpack. Alright, so backpack and water satchel, baby. And we are now smoking. Got him. All right. All right. No, that should be on my backpack. When do I get awesome enough to get it on? That's why I bought the stupid ass backpack, is to attach this thing to it. There, that's what we want, dagnabbit. There it is. That's what we need. All right, bet. We're ready for action now. Let's go talk to Durak or Durag or whatever his name is, and then we need to kick ass. Although I would like to get that blood pack. I forgot who gives me the blood pack. You.
Hey there. Here's the plan. Hey, listen.
A little Zelda reference. That was tight. Nice little Easter egg there. Hippie Mo says, "Yo, B, what's happening? What's up with you, man? Everything's good over here. Thanks for hanging." All right, I have missed about 1,000 comments, so let's pause for a heartfelt save the game. Actually hit the home button. No, this game does not pause for shit. All right, so Suba said, Like they had good ideas, but didn't realize that merging those ideas made for messy gameplay. I'll buy that too. Yeah, Harley says, "What's up? What up? What up?" Typical Iowan says they like random enemies because it forces you to learn combat over enemy placement. The only challenge in the context of what me and Super are talking about is the combat is so violently parochial and mediocre that you don't learn combat in this game. You just hope they sent 7 enemies instead of 8, otherwise you die. Pretty much the gist of the game. To me, it just feels cheap getting nailed in the back by enemies. Yeah, exactly right, man. Oh, and the spawns are horrendous in that game, too. What is Metroidmania? I've never heard of Metroidmania. What is that? Sounds like a fantastic convention I want to go to. The best way I can describe a Souls game to you, Iwan, and I'm sure Super will do a better job because he plays Born so effectively. Think of a strategy RPG, except action-based, and every fight is like a mini puzzle where you have to learn the tells of the other player, you have to know how they move, you have to have timed button mashes at the exact right nuanced moment in order to overcome them. And the way you learn how to do that is by getting your ass beat over and over again by these monsters until you learn the dance, right? That's essentially, and then it usually has some type of gothic bullshit setting. And I use bullshit kind of like the word smurf. I don't mean it's actually bullshit. I'm fine with gothic shit. It's gothic and weird. It's very simplistic storytelling, almost non-existent, which one of the things I love about the series. And is difficult like a Castlevania. There you go. Oh yeah, pitchforks abound in the city of love. Look at me, oh. We are pimping in the bed. What's up, my brother? You want to rap a little bit? No? Alright. No, it was cool. What's up, Pistachio? What's up, Ryan? Aight, let's get to rapping.
What is it? The customers have been talking.
Very nice. Why is there a boat up in the middle of the inn? Johnny, tell me why there's a boat here. Hold on, tell me that one more time.
What is it?
All that holler.
The customers have been talking.
term. I think I remember rescuing that other person she's talking about. There you go. Ooh, no load times. Just get right to the business, don't you? I'm trying to remember, like, I paid this blood debt off within minutes. The first time I looked it up.
Friend. Lend me your ear. I'm always interested in curiosities. What have you got? Lend me your ear. As a matter of fact, I could use a brash explorer for something. Here's what I need.
Northeast of Scherzo.
You'll know it if you find it.
All right.
Perfect. Make sure you have a good weapon, a lantern, and plenty of supplies.
Raw.
Lend me your ear. I'll see you.
Peace, lady. It should be that easy to do in Dragon's Dogma. What's up, my homie? Orlac Coleon, what up?
Whoa! Hold up there. Where do you think you're
Chillin'.
going?
Chillin' hard. Like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, not like that you aren't. You need at least an equipped weapon, a water skin, and an equipped backpack before you're ready to face the
All the
outside
above,
world.
in tow, baby.
If I let you adventure outside without basic equipment, you'll be marching to your own death. If you're pressed to find a weapon, make yourself a quarterstaff. I'm also sure you can find a spare water skin by the water purifier on the town beach.
So, did I just need to have my weapon in hand for him?
Need something? Well, you got the essentials at least.
Guess so.
Here, I'll teach you a skill. Need something? Well, you got the essentials at least. There you go. Mastering skills is the key to survival out in the wild. All right. I feel comfortable letting you outside the walls. Use the door when you want to head out.
Farewell, my brother. And stay black all day. All right, let me read this one more time so I can get it done. Yeah, I used to write for this website. How about that? Back when I used to do such things. Now we get a little load time. Wait, how do ads have skippable ads? What? The ad industry was killed by advertisers. Delicioso. I forgot how long these load screens is. Hey there! Another achievement for the Brotherhood of Jesus. I really forgot how good this soundtrack is, man. Lord Jesus, hit me. Got it. Alright, bet. Yeah, there are no map markers in this game, by the way. I thought I would hate that. Actually didn't end up hating it at all. It worked out well. If I remember correctly, also no fast traveling. Also fine. I was actually taken aback by how much I like this game, given how much I hate some of its elements in other games. Is this a cliff that I'm about to walk off of? Because this is dark as hell. Just trying to ease on down the road, baby. I'm trying to jump off no cliffs. Yeah, that's a cliff face. I gotta find another way down. Critical paths and all that. What you got for me, dog? I will take those bandages because I'm going to need them. That's the button I was looking for. Thank you, Jesus. Whoa, Jesus. I must gather wood. We must all gather. Oh, Jesus, help me, Lord! Lord, Lord, Lord! All right, we got a deuce. We got a deuce. There it is. There's Daddy. Daddy coming to whoop your monkey asshole. Come on, ho. Get this ass whipping that you need. I'm gonna put it all where it belongs. You know where that is, don't you? In your ass. Come on, man. Word. Get out of here. Old one. Got the bag, dude. Now we can get busy. Yeah, ho. You ready to get it in now? Damn, that strong shit. Dead as shit. Look at you, ho. Dead. 'Cause I killed you. I don't know what I'm gonna do about this disease shit. Oops. Alright, let's go into the old inventory. Where's my water bottle at? Alright, good enough for now. Let's go. Can we please get this mission done before I get my ass beat to death? Oh, Jesus, there's more of them. Run your ass. Run it. Definitely need to do this mission during the daytime. Yeah, like I said, this game is not, it's basically what if Dark Souls were an open world and the combat weren't annoying. This is basically what this is. The combat's brutal, right? You get your ass beat, and I happen to have played the game for several hours, so now that I'm getting my bearings, I can remember how the combat works. But you can see I got half my life taken from the character just for fighting two wolves. And once you get really good at the game, you don't lose those fights, and you really don't get hit much, and you get better weapons, thankfully. I'm not fighting with a lacrosse stick or whatever it is I have that I found on Old Man Dead Riverton. But yeah, that's kind of, like, if Souls games were this, I would play all of them and love them and hug them and kiss them in the lips, open mouth, mwah, just in there. But like, I just can't get past that combat, man. The timed button mash shit. Can't do it, man. Can't do it. Hold up, dude. Oh, yeah. We good. It's like, hold up now. We sure we in the right place? What's up, girl? Don't leave yet. You and me still got to get together now. Got some loving to do. We definitely got loving to do. Loving, McLovin'. Definitely got loving to do. Clem's in the house. What up? I forget, I'm humming the song, but it's gonna sound like I'm completely off to you guys because of the delay, son. I love this sleep system, the way it works, man. It's totally cool. Like, you can rest and repair your stuff, which is dope. But then when you're out in the wild and you're trying to sleep, it's like, all right, go to sleep. See if someone don't come whoop your ass. But it's like, if you set up the guard, you can stave off getting attacked. It's a really cool, there's a lot of little nuances to this game's systems that are just very nicely just, I gotta give these guys their props, man. They deserve it. They turned out, 9 Dots turned out a winner with Outward. Definitely one of my favorite games from last generation, which shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody because it seems like every generation of video games, my favorite game from that generation is never anybody else's favorite. I don't think any of my top 10 games are on anybody else's. Maybe on their top 10 list, but certainly, nah. I don't think any of them would be anybody's #1 game. So, yeah. People are gonna point to Gears of War. Yuck. You know, Halo. Boring. Yeah, just not my jam. Not my cup of tea, sir. Look how beautiful this game is too, gang. Really pretty to look at. Also, the open world, not terribly huge. Thank you to the Lord Christ, our heavenly Lord of hosts. I'm sure I'm butchering that, but get the point. Broken Super says, it's like what AVGN said about Dracula 1931. You just have to get yourself into the right mood. Dim the light, let the fog roll in, and enjoy that ass whooping. Right? Dracula. I need to watch whatever. I think that's one of the AVGN shows I've not seen. That sounds funny as hell. And it's totally something he would say. I really like his movie reviews, man. I binge watched the shite out of that after my dad passed away, and I was like, that was the year. It was like, all right, fuck it. I'm doing entertainment this year. I'm going to stop this entertainment boycott I've been on for the last 20 years and actually start watching shit. And then, of course, AVGN was one of the first things I started watching. Yeah, so I sent Suba a message tonight, and I think I've decoded not just the bloodborne issues, the soulsborne issues that I have. I think I truly may have decoded why I hate most video games. I think I figured it out. I think it's in there, man. It's in there. I think it's in there, man. I think I finally figured it out. Or at least I figured out another step. You know what I mean? Another piece of the puzzle, if you will. Now, should I go kill that chicken? Oh, you auto-correcting camera whores! You will not do this to me. You will let me turn that off immediately. I will destroy you. Yet another game with the auto-correcting camera. Well, you know what? At the very least, it corrects very slowly. All right, so we'll give him a pass on this one. It corrects slowly, at least. Yeah, AVGN's movie reviews were great, man. I started watching all of his not Cinemassacre, that's the name of the channel, but his 30 Days of Horror. What's his Monster Madness? I learned a lot about the films he loves, man. I was like, yo, I never knew this stuff. This cool as shoot. What's up, Wolf? Ready for your ass this time, ho. Get it in. Brother Wolf. Let's get some. Let's get it in together, ho. I see you sneaking. You ain't slick, ho. Did you respawn when I left? Because here come that ass whipping that you need. Your own ass. One down. Come on, ho. I know what you need. I got everything you need right here, ho. Everything you need in life. See, once you learn the dance, you know it. It's in your blood. You don't have to do all these time button mash parry bullshit. You learn the system, you kick ass. Doesn't need to be more complicated than that. Come on, get some, Wolf. I know you died. I know you scared. All in your ass. You see that? Get your ass out of here. You don't know me. I kill for fun. Better know it. Now let's take a breather. Alright, we're healed up. Oh yeah, and some healing items heal you over time. You ain't just hitting it and it's gonna heal you right up. Better be careful out here on these streets. They kill you. I love that the world is not terribly, I mentioned this earlier, but the fact that the world is not terribly, ridiculously huge is very much a blessing. Very much a blessing. Alright, so we're not getting there this way. Nope, that way either. That's how we get in there, sons. Alright, eyes on. I think eyes on. Yeah, I mean, they got the soundtrack right. They got everything on this game right, dog. And like exploring, like you saw me run up on this tree and explore, and now I got new cool gear coming in. It's ill, man. Come on. What do you need, Jesus? Alright, so I'm going to get a 3 and a 1 out of that. I think I'm going to get a 6 out of this. Let's get that. Alright, that takes care of that. A Fang Shield recipe has been learned. Use it wisely, or be destroyed. Would you like to be destroyed? Then I suggest you use it wisely. Right, where's our guy at? Oh, one of the birds is here. Two birds with one stone, bird. I'm coming. You're not going to get away from me, bird. It's time for you to give me what I need. You know what I need, too. I need to get it up out y'all. First kill. Let's get this rare item out the way, Jesus. Uh-oh. Where's the other thing at? Yeah, come on up, bird. We got you. It's love in here, bird. You ready? Let's get this thing right, bird. Why am I not? Block, fool. Why are you not blocking? Let's get it. Now. Oh, don't you run, ho. No, you don't. You bring your bird ass back here. I want my hat, bitch. You gonna give it to me. I'll kill you. You run into the sea, ho. Your ass belong to me. Ah, no hat. It's all good. It's not really all good, but you'll be alright. Clem says, stupid buffering. Sorry that you're having these issues, Clem. Let me make sure it's not on. Nope. Everything on my end says it's good. Let's get that backpack back on. Keep kicking ass out here, man. Don't I look sexy in my new gear? Y'all know I look sexy. Shut up. Isn't that our guy right there? You know what? I'm not even gonna fuss, man. Nope, there's our guy. Eyes on. What's up, my brother?
I can't move. A pistol shrimp got me. I can feel it working.
Word.
Oh, thank you, Lord. I'm not going to die here.
That's correct. You're not.
Thanks a bunch.
A writ of tribal favor. That's all we had to do, y'all. Gangster style. We're going to pay off our life debt and then go kick some real ass. Oh, and it's homegirl's aunt or homegirl's nephew. Yeah.
Ow. I don't think I'm fit to run back home just yet.
Yeah, you think, brother. Meantime, between time, I gotta go kill this thing. You run on home, G. Let him get to you now. Just checking to see if any of these boxes have anything that we desire. And it would appear that that answer is nay. You know what? Let's leave him alone for now, because he can. There's the thing he can do that we don't want to have happen to us. Let's get up out of here, and let's just make sure the quest didn't say I needed to kill that thing. Okay, now we're good. All right, shut her down. That's complete, baby. Gonna get our writ of tribal favor. All these people can stop hating on me. Family debt paid, ho. That's how we do things around here. Oh, Pistachio, Clem, you're all the same voices in my head in the simulation I'm plugged into, so whatever. Pick which one of you it was. Alright, now before we just go tumbling in this mother huncher, save the game. Not that that's going to do anything if we die, but... Yo, by the way, you're not going to save your way out of anything in this game. When you did, you did. You're not going to reload an old save. When you die, the game saves immediately, and whatever happens to you as a result of you dying is what happens to you. You are welcome. Signed, you shouldn't have died, ho. You should have prepared better before you ran outside. I've got to learn the controls in this game. Heck, nabbit. Alright, there it is. Alright, so it would seem that one is not getting through here this way. No worries. Let's just double check. Make sure there's no ladder or rope or something. Yeah, but this game, I'm enjoying this game as much as I remember enjoying it before, so... Yeah, 9 dots, you done well, sons. Or fathers, or mothers, aunts, whatever you are. You done well. So the voices in Harlequin's head are telling them to go to bed. 11 o'clock on a Friday, Harley? What are you? Terrorist? What red-blooded Americans going to bed on 11 o'clock on a Friday without having had a steak and lots of sex? Terrorists. So if you want to end up on a list, Harley, by all means, leave the stream and go to bed, but we know what you're really getting up to. We know what you are really getting up to, sir. You have fooled no one. All right, we're back outside. Alright. It's like the last button you think it would be is the button that does that. I pressed every button on the controller but that one. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Let's kick ass. What's up, home Brenner? You ready? Ready to kick ass? And you know what's happening. Where you going, babe? Boy, don't make me come up on you and kick ass like you know I'm going to. Damn, that bird is fucking me up. I refuse to get killed by one of these damn chickens. That is not what's going down here. You know what? Let's be smart. Let him run. And let's heal up a little bit. Can we heal up a little bit before we go chasing that dumbass bird? By the way, switch weapons. You can keep them off you if you just use this. He can't get close to you. He says, oh, and that's the actual dodo. Yeah, it does kind of favor the dode. How you walking up mountains and I can't walk up no mountain hole? A word? I just slide down mountains, huh? You can walk right on up. That's you. That's me, ho. Hell no, look at me, bitch. I own this motherfucker. I bought it today at Starland. You not running? Run, ho. Yep, keep running, ho. I got plenty of stamina. And nothing else to do right now. I've done everything else that's supposed to happen in my world today. Biatch. Give me my bird head, ho. Give me my damn bird head, bitch. Run, bitch. You better run your ass. Right, slow down, slow down, slow down. Some rest. Let the bird run. We'll catch it. I guarantee you, whatever he's just lured us into, we're going to have to be able to run out of this mud. Yep, see? Damn, bird. That's you? You had to go down there with the damn wolves, didn't you? Damn it, bird. Well, hooker-ass bird. Yep, we need some sleeps. Well, I survived out in the wild much better than I did the first time I played this game, so hey, we're winning. We're getting W's out here. Oh, I got mercilessly murdered. The first time I ran out into the wild, I actually didn't like the game at first. I was like, is this going to be another damn Dark Souls? I have to die a million times to learn how to play it. And it's like, nah, you just don't have anything to fight with. Take your dumb ass back to town, get something to fight with. Ho, you be alright? Like, oh, alright, peace, thanks. Wow, there's some cognitive dissonance for sure, Suba. Very interesting. Damn, more of these wolves that showed up. I can't do much running now, so I might have to stay. Oh, I fell through the world. I don't remember that ever happening on the PlayStation version. Still falling through the world. Hug that wall, boy. Let him get you. And it's raining? Damn. But the best part is the seasons. Because I want to say when I started this game, the seasons aren't exactly always the same. I think the game was in wintertime when I started it. And coming out here was pure just, I did not have the gear to come outside and F with old man winter. Old Saint Nick was out here kicking ass. No shirt on. Just gut and beard, eating ass all night. I must have had 27 campfires by the time I was through. Well, Ryan, that actually wouldn't be dumb because in every other video game, that's exactly what would happen, or every other video game that kind of emulates the Elder Scrolls. What you learn in this game is it's not a collectathon where they just want you to collect everything possible in the world so you can just get little dopamine spikes all the time. They just give you a couple of things to collect, and then you know what they are, so when you see them, the stuff you can collect really stands out when you see it in the wild. Like, I know what that is. That's the dildo tree. Get me all kind of dildos today. Like, you just know. It's the dildo tree. Go get your dildo. Go to lunch. Problem solved. This dude is not doing too well. My brother. Get your ass to bed. So yeah, that's not dumb at all, Ryan, because every other video game is exactly what they condition you to do. Oh, that tree is yellow. That must mean I'm supposed to pick up things. Which is insanely helpful, not a criticism. But in this game's much more minimalistic. Another thing I love about it, 9 Dots, you didn't try to do too much. You stuck to what you wanted. A difficult but fair and easy to learn but hard to master combat system. No dying 6 million times. In fact, if you die 20 times in this game, I'd be surprised because you learn quick. You're going to die a couple of times up front, and then you're going to spend some parts of the game just running your ass off because it's like you know you're not fighting the 3-headed lion that just came out of the cave. And in this game, you're not a superhero. Even though I love the power fantasy, in this game, there is no leveling up. Everything about you is your ability to fight, and you do find better gear throughout the game that makes you more capable. But in terms of like leveling dexterity and all that Dungeons and Dragons horseshit, nope. They took all that out, and I think the game's better for it because it's focused. It doesn't need to have you level 19 skill trees for skills you're never going to use, or if it's a European developer, there's 19 skill trees, but you can only completely fill one of them, so they want you to play the game 14 times. Like, no. 9 Dots does it the way that it should be done. And should any of us ever play together, this will be your bed. Alright. Get some sleeps. What? Ready for winter? What does that say? 20 cold weather defense. Oh, I reached 20 cold weather defense. I don't even know how I did that, Jesus. But I did it. 20 weather defense, Jesus. Yeah, sleep all the way, boy. Sleep till your ass just can't sleep no more. This dude about to sleep 14 hours. I hope he sleeps the damn disease off. All right. Let's see. We got dildo berries for Ryan. We got a new gangster in town. Look, B, the dildo tree is nice, but is it worth having it without being able to customize the sheath? Gold skins, curved blade variants, katana. Yeah, no, I'm cool, man. Just give me a dildo and let me beat people to death with it. I don't need to put 14 different scopes on my rifle that I picked up off the 12,000 people I murdered to get here just to get enough materials to make this stupid-ass thing. Like, the dopamine hunting that these game designers, and that's not fair. Sorry, designers. It's the publishers I know that are pushing this shit. The fucking quantitative analysis that tells you how much looter shooter bullshit you have to put in your game to keep the player playing long enough for us to collect the exact amount of data we want to collect on them to be able to sell them and other people like them in cohorts like them more shit. It's like, damn, dude. Like, for real, if you guys think y'all buying these overpriced ass games is how these companies are making money, think again. You don't think data companies are paying EA for all the fucking data they're collecting on Madden on you? Come on. You don't think Amazon's paying for some of that data? And Google? That's how Google knew you were 31 years old and you were looking at blow-up dolls. Because they listened to you in your game. So yeah. This game doesn't have any of that. Just play it. Well, I'm sure they collect data on you when the game's being played. I can't imagine any video games nowadays are not collecting data on you. And I'm not, hear me, I'm not against collecting data on the player as long as it's aggregate data that's not personal information that should be protected. If you're collecting on me the fact that I tend to run to a certain hilltop and I use a certain kind of blade, which means you can predict that in future games you can aggregate out the data and say everybody likes this weapon more than the other ones we put in the game. This is the one we need to give them first. I'm totally cool with collecting data for making your shit better. Go nuts. We all do that. But damn, I don't need to play your game for 400 hours, dog. Unless it's that good. There's a couple of games that I think Tales of Vesperia got 300 out of me. Battlefield 3 got 200. Shoot, Death Stranding I think got over 100. When you add it up. Oh, I was going to tell you guys, man, the reveal, the revelation I think I might have had about why, and we'll end on this. Let's go sit by the campfire and just chat with each other. Be friends. Copper Squad here at the fire. Y'all Copper Squad with me. We're just gonna squad together right here at the fire. Anyway, so actually that's not cool at all. Let me do this for you guys. This is what you need to be looking at. Not my silly ass squatting. You need to look at beauty. That's what you need to see. Aesthetic gorgeousness. There you go. All right. Why is it that so many modern video games are not pleasing to me? And when I say not pleasing, I'm not saying bad. Like what you like. But most of the games I've played after 1997 have not been that enjoyable. I'd say most. Let's say that video games follow pretty much any standard deviation of things in the world, right? So most video games are going to be violently mediocre. There's going to be 2% that stand above the rest as the most amazing things that have ever happened, and then 2% that are absolute trash, like Beat It, Need It, right? So, yes, that's a game. For those of you who aren't gamers and haven't been in this industry as long as I have, there's a porn game called Beat It, Need It. And it's not as recent as you're probably thinking. Anyway, so trying to figure out what happened in 1997. Now, what I've been pointing to since 1997 is Final Fantasy VII. I've kind of blamed it and Hideo Kojima for where the parts of video games that I don't like are now. Now, having said that, I think Final Fantasy VII is actually a good game. I think it's grotesquely overappreciated because I just don't think it's that good. It's decent. It's a decently fun, overly long game with a convoluted, silly-ass story. Alright, I also think Metal Gear Solid is a decent game, fantastic story. Right, I think the Metal Gear Solid games got progressively less fun to play over time. My boredom with Metal Gear Solid 5 that you saw, there you go. But those two games give rise to this idea that video games are art, which that idea wasn't new at the time, but now we can prove it because video games are like movies. This shit that you guys fawn over all the time. Fast forward to somewhere circa, I think, 2012, video games overtake movies as the most, or maybe even before that, the most popular form of entertainment on the planet right now today is video games. And so now they've established themselves as this kind of elite form of art instead of recreational toys that we play with. And so I'm trying to figure out, okay, but what actually changed? Well, the game started obviously becoming more like movies. So I've always pointed to, I don't want to play an interactive movie. And when I used to run my website, I'd run into a lot of people who preferred that. They were like, no, I like the interactive movie. It's like reading a novel, which is the first clue into why I don't think it's just the stories, because I like great stories. I have argued for years that video game stories are usually pretty bad. But I don't think that's really the fault of the writer. I think it's you're trying to fit a Hollywood movie over something that is produced very much not like a Hollywood movie in a lot of ways. And it's very hard to fit, especially when story is not really even added to any of these games till the 11th hour of the development cycle. So basically all of these stories are having to be retrofit over a game that's been in development for years. So I get that video game storytellers really get a raw deal. Right? So when I talk about video game stories being mostly bad, I'm not even saying the writers are bad. I'm saying I don't think the medium suits Hollywood level storytelling, except in very, very specific cases where the guy producing the game is damn near a Hollywood movie producer in Hideo Kojima, right? Or in the folks at Naughty Dog, or name the other games that have great stories that we can all agree on. Like all of us kind of agree. Last of Us, pretty dope story, right? I think Metal Gear Solid, the whole series, it's very convoluted, but on purpose because it's satirical. It's not meant to be taken completely seriously, right? But it is meant to be taken emotionally. Like we're talking about things that happened in real life from a different lens of satire and absurdist humor, but also dealing with the darkness of what it is to be a human. That's what the whole series is really about, man. Anyway, so those two games launch us into this. Every game now has to be a damn movie, which means it has to be 20 hours long and fucking cutscenes and all the shit that I really don't like. But when I look at it a little bit deeper, I don't think it's just the story. It's about... Because if I can say The Last of Us is one of the best stories I've seen, period. Forget movies, TV, video games. It's one of the best stories, period, out there. Well, clearly my issue isn't with narratively driven games. It's with the ones that do it in a way that I don't like. And so what I'm actually thinking about now, earlier tonight I sent Suba a message. I said, yo, Sue, question. When you were young, I want you guys to answer in the comments too, because I'm very curious about this. So I said, Subes, when you were young, or maybe you still do it today, which good on you if that's true. Therapy's there. Or at least if you're still doing one of them, there's therapy. But anyway, the question was, when you were young, did you read comic books or did you play with action figures? And if you did both, which one did you prefer? So that was my question to Suba. And I think my answer to that question, because my answer has a curveball. I don't have just a straight one or the other, right? And I think my answer gave me the clue to why I need to avoid most video games that are out there. And I think what actually opened my mind to receiving the clue today was playing Skyrim with you guys last night, where I could fly off of cliffs using the Force. I could force choke people and pull them towards me and lightsaber them to death. I don't know why that's not every video game ever. How is me being able to fly off a cliff, force pull and choke a guy and slice him with a lightsaber not every video game that's ever happened in the history of mankind? And I think the answer to that question is found in the answer to the question I just asked you guys about comics and action figures. Did you play with did you read comic books as a kid, or did you play with action figures? And if you did both, which one did you do more of or like more? Pistachio has a fetish for leisure suit. So I'm waiting for everybody's answers before we jump to the next part. He says, where's the fireplace? Oh, it's in the floor. The hearth. So, Pistachio has a fetish for leisure suit Larry. Alright. So Ryan says, wait, could you repeat the question? So Ryan says, I read comics and then would go out and do shit. Did you like the comics or the doing shit more? Clem says both, but comics always been my... I knew I was gonna find you. Yes, Clem. Alright. Hippies in there too. Alright, now Suba's the one that's gotta answer. Oh shit. I didn't see that message actually. I couldn't get into comics. Now that doesn't make... Now Suba fucking breaks the damn experiment. Shit! Never mind, my whole theory is destroyed because it's Suba's fucking answer. Damn it. I just knew Suba was gonna say comic books. Well, it doesn't necessarily change my hypothesis about me, but I had another hypothesis about Souls games, and Suba just shattered it because he's the biggest Bloodborne fan ever in the history of mankind, and I just knew he was going to say comic books. God bless it. Although, knowing how Suba plays Bloodborne, my theory doesn't have to be completely diced to pieces. So, but Hippie makes sense. Clem makes sense. Suba will be an outlier in my experiment. Ryan actually makes sense, being the balanced guy. I don't know. I think I like the comics because I get sucked. Alright, sucked into the world. We're getting warmer. We're getting warmer, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan says I just hated mosquitoes. Clem says I dislike Souls games. That's okay. The comic book part doesn't, it's just a correlation, not causation, right? My hypothesis was going to be not that because you love comic books, you must love the Souls games. Not at all. More along the lines of if you liked reading comics, or let me put it to you, because if you like reading fantasy, it doesn't even need to be comics. If you like reading fantasy a lot, over playing with action figures, I think there would be a good chance for you to fall into my category of the people who don't like the games. But there obviously could be exceptions to the rule, and my hypothesis could just be crap. So that's why I come to you guys. I definitely don't have it flipped. Because I hate fucking comic books, and I hate Soulsborne games. So I definitely don't have it flipped. It's very possible to hate comic books and Souls. Says my entire life is a contradiction. Yeah, you're in good company, man. You and me both. And I'm joking. You breaking my system. I would expect nothing less from the great Suba. A very nuanced man. That is a huge compliment. I hope everybody knows I'm not fucking with him. That is me paying tribute to this man. Stachio loved my G.I. Joes. How about this? I hated Mist and Riven because I couldn't run around and check stuff out. Okay, Ryan's kind of in my camp, right? The world didn't feel like it really existed. Okay, here's a question. Played with toys more than I read comics is Yehu. Ryan says, do you think in pictures? Oftentimes, yeah. Am I a moving 3D GPS if you give me directions? I could be. It depends. If it's a place I've traveled to a bunch of times, I'm probably just seeing the flat map in my head because I know where I'm going. I don't know. That's a good question, Ryan. I don't actually exactly know the answer to your question about myself. Maybe I need to do some self-discovery there. But going back to the original discussion, and we can have that discussion too. That's a very interesting one. But so this notion of not liking these narrative-based games. But so I started thinking back to childhood and people that were into comics. And so the one thing that was true about almost all of the role-playing game fans that I interacted with when I was doing games media shit was that they all loved fantasy novels or comic books or some variation on that theme. I hate that shit. Not just because to me that it's kind of corny, like it just is, and I don't want to be a fucking wizard. I always thought, like when I was a kid, wizards seemed like sissies. Like I don't want to, and you can't say sissy now because it has a totally different connotation and sexual implications. No, it just meant you were weak. Like that's all it meant when I was a kid. It didn't mean all this other horrible shit that people attribute to everything because they're professionally fucking offended at everything because they live in the most privileged time in human history. Anyway, but I didn't want to be a fucking wizard running around in my bathrobe. Just none of that looked awesome. Right, but most of the RPG fans I was running into, they were very different from me. They weren't jocks. They read fantasy novels. A lot of them were drama geeks. And I was like, all right, but why am I drawn to this very nerdy thing when I'm very much, and don't get me wrong, I have a lot in common with these nerds outside of video games. But when it came, or I'm sorry, obviously inside of, like, outside of sports, like, there were things me and these nerds other than video games. Actually, video games kind of was the linchpin for all the nerd friends in my life. Because I was the jock, but I also hung out with drama geeks and nerds, but our connection was usually video games. But, and just the fact that they were good effing people, whether they were jocks, nerds, or whatever. But, I couldn't figure out, like, how do I like this genre that keeps turning out so much shit that I hate? And what it was it was just a perfect storm of the games I got introduced to were particularly suited. They were particularly tailored for me to like them. If I had played totally different games, I don't think I would have become a role-playing game fan. Like if I didn't play Metroid and then Metal Gear and then Dragon Warrior to get that taste of leveling up, but this game is clunky and weird, but then eventually play Final Fantasy II on Super Nintendo and fall in love with it. But what I figured out was, so think about the main distinction between if you're reading a comic book and you're playing with action figures. The obvious there is that one is an activity where you are actively involved in the world. The other one, you're only involved in it in your imagination, right? And more importantly, because it's all imagination, but the most important distinction between the comic book reader and not just the action figure player, but the way I played with action figures, was I always played by myself. I never liked playing with my friends. Why? Because I didn't want to be a part of somebody else's fucking story. I wanted it to be mine. And so when I look at all of the role-playing games I love, one of two things is true. In a game like Elder Scrolls, I'm making the adventure, or Two Worlds is a better example. Yes, there is an underlying narrative. Yes, there are quests that I'm supposed to carry out. But in Two Worlds, I literally went to a town where I noticed all the guards had samurai swords. And this is a game where the more swords you can collect, you can combine them to make them into superly powerful swords. You're leveling up your gear without having to make it a looter shooter where I'm in my inventory every 9 minutes. They figured that shit out in 2007, and you can't get that right in 2020, Cyberpunk? You bastards. You know what I mean? Like, so I just went to the town with all the samurais and killed them all and took all their swords. I was running around with like level 2000 blades, which, by the way, you would think kills most things in one hit. Nope. Go fight a dragon with that. You're going to have to put in a couple hits. So what I found out was the games that I love let me make my fucking story. Or they tell me a story that's so damned good that I can actually narcissistically see myself in Commander Shepard. Even though the games are shit, the stories are dope. Some of them. Right? Yeah. Like, it's, I don't want to go on your dumbass adventure. Let me make my own. And that's what I think the difference, like comic books, you're being told the writer's story. I'm not interested in the writer's story, damn it. I'm interested in what I can imagine and make my own. Certainly within a world that you've created for me to play in, but let me be how this. That's why when you guys see me do dialogue options, you hear me on these streams get frustrated. It's like, fuck you! Let me say what I would say, because it's better than this shit. Or like when I was playing Witcher 3 and streaming, and like, please let Ciri and Witcher, what's his name, Geralt, drive off in a Cadillac. Please let a Cadillac pull up. That's exactly how I would do this cutscene, because it's hilarious. Fuck your immersion. Fuck your suspension of disbelief. I just want to have a laugh, because this game is too goddamn long, and the story will not stop telling me things that are uninteresting. Yes, I said that about The Witcher 3 in the same breath that I reviewed it as the best RPG ever made. Certainly not my favorite, but it's one of the best. And if I could rate something the best, as if there is such a thing. All right, so that, my friends, is why I think I hate most modern video games. It's because the designer is trying to force me into their world where there's rules. You guys know The Matrix is my second favorite movie of all time. I don't like rules. Like, give me the ability to bend your shitty system to make the game. Like, if you've made a game and you've made rules for your game that I think suck, in real life, I'm not going to come to your house and play your game. Right? But if I can bend the rules of your game in a way that makes it fun for me without obviously hurting you, like being able to fly off of cliffs, choke slam, and lightsaber people to death in Skyrim, dude, I can't wait to get back to playing Skyrim. I had so much fun last night, I didn't know what to do with myself, man. I can't wait. I almost wanted to play Skyrim over showing you guys this, because I got lightsabers and I can fly, and I can kind of make my, like, I can't do everything. You can't choke slam a dragon. Alright, I'll live with that. Who cares? Like, I can fly off mountains and lightsaber things to death. What else? What else is there? What else matters in the universe besides that? It's my new philosophy, y'all, from the great Pete Holmes. You guys are going to hear about him on Monday on the podcast. You're going to hear about my new life philosophy. You have to tune into the podcast to hear it. Or a new philosophy, I guess, that I'm adding to my philosophies. You know what I mean? So I don't want to go on your silly ass adventure, Sephiroth, you big pansy. I want to fight a dude I would actually not feel bad for beating the shit out of, because you're a hypersensitive emo bitch of a man. I would just, let's get this motherfucker some therapy. I don't want to kill him. But he wants to blow up the world. Therapy. Let's try therapy first. He'll be alright. Just take away his blow up shit that blows up the world and put him in therapy. You'll be alright. Alright. Now then. Ryan says, also completely unrelated, maybe, but I'd absolutely be irate if I couldn't collect some resources and claim salvage on that ship that's half sunk. You're going to be irate. Just go ahead and get it. Actually, maybe you won't. There is stuff on the beach line. I'm just not sure it goes all the way to that boat. But you saw me collect some of it when I was running around earlier. Stagio says he was too poor for video games. I can dig it, man. Great Yoshi says, hi. What's up, Great Yoshi? Good to see you, my friend. Ryan Motley says, bending the rules is why having a good dungeon master is critical to having a fun D&D. Yeah, and see, that's the other thing, too. Because role-playing games are really the merging of Dungeons and Dragons and basically Japanese sex novels. Don't believe me? That's where most Japanese role-playing games come from. Companies that used to make Japanese sex novels. Maybe not most, but quite a few of the ones you like come from companies that used to write Japanese, sex novels, dog. You're welcome. So, of course, the story, and I need to actually pause. There is no pause. The story includes the angsty teenager that's not getting laid, because that's in all their fucking novels. But Dungeons and Dragons, I think, works in a social setting, because that game is highly, highly social, especially for a group of people who are probably more often than not very introverted, but still need social interaction. It's amazing. I just don't think that Dungeons and Dragons experience does not translate into a video game well. So it's like, yeah, bring over the stats, bring over the leveling up, absolutely. Maybe leave some of the damn status ailments, because curing that shit gets old. Like, I'm carrying one right now that I don't even know how to heal, and that's just tedious. It's like I gotta go find the dude that makes the tincture. He's like, hey, climb to the mountain of Neverformore, believe lose, and pick 4 flowers of Talador, and I'm just gonna kill you. Like, lightsabers and flying, guys. Not diseases and that shit. But yeah, so I think, at least where I'm at right now, I'm not capable of liking most games because they don't let me express myself at all. And I'm a creator, man. I create shit. I build shit. That's what my DNA is. And if in your game I can't have any agency to make the game the way I want it to be, I'm probably not going to like it. There are games that certainly are an exception to the rule where it's just a linear experience, but it's great. Spaceship shooters are like that, but spaceship shooters kind of do let you have agency because you can level your ships up, and as long as you're good at the game, you can just murder everything on the screen with all your extra bombs and stuff. So, plus that's also an arcade game, so I'm in a much different modality when I'm playing an arcade game than I am playing an adventure. And I think that's the context we're really talking about here, is adventures that have stories. Because we're not talking about Madden or NHL 21. We're talking about, adventure games. And these are the types of games that are usually my favorites. And it's just tough to like them when I can't have any agency over how I do my thing. But the games that give me some of it, I end up liking. The games that give me as much as I can take, I end up loving. Like I said, I'm playing Skyrim with these mods, and the only regret I have from modding Skyrim is that now I can't get the achievements. And obviously I could turn them off and just play it vanilla later and get them, but I would really love to get the achievements while playing the game the way I want to play it. That would make Skyrim perfect for me. But can't do it, so a 90% awesome situation is still awesome. You heard? iFlame says, what up? So you're a female that looks like a homeless guy. Okay? I just want to be Whoopi Goldberg. If I ever play Dungeons and Dragons with you guys, I'm Whoopi Goldberg. Period. If you won't let me be Whoopi Goldberg, I can't be in your game. Let's see. Broken Super says, did you see my MBTI comment? I did not. Scroll up and see if I can find it. I saw your welcome, Yoshi. Oh, I created my own version of the expanded Star Wars universe where my version of Luke, Han, Obi-Wan interact differently with different adventures. That's pretty interesting. I don't know where your MBTI thing is, man. Uh-oh. Like the game shut off on us. Okay, Suba says, I hate to bring Myers-Briggs. Myers-Briggs, it's fine to talk about Myers-Briggs. I don't rail against it. I just stopped making content about it because I was getting tired of getting questions from people who were trying to use the test to clearly do something. I mean, literally, I was getting emails from people trying to manipulate men into dating them. Like, if y'all crazy fuckers don't get away from me. I have no issues with Myers-Briggs. It is a faulty personality test like they all are. I certainly think there are better tests, but I'm totally cool talking about it with rational people. I just don't want any emails from female frickin' stalkers trying to manipulate men to love them using Myers-Briggs. Ah, the downside of getting popular on the internet, man. Anywho, I hate to bring Myers-Briggs into this, but I'm an intuitor versus sensor. So when you start quoting the percentages of the population, uh, no, I don't. I have not seen, and it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I'm not certified in the psychometrics, so maybe there is accurate data. I've never seen anyone represent the fucking I versus E shit properly. Like, oh, only 3% of the population. Like, bullshit. Show me the numbers. It's horseshit. Oh man. Yeah, like I'd be hard pressed to believe that only 20% of the population is intuitors. And you said you brought that up because a main trait is I'm in my head versus dealing with the here and now. Maybe that plays a part, and maybe that would be a better representation to the foundation behind. Yeah, but does your point imply that I am a sensor, or are you talking about something else? Did we switch the conversation here? Because despite what common people who think they can read me from watching a 12-minute fucking YouTube video would like you to believe, I am not a sensor. At least according to the Myers-Briggs test, I have never been one. And I've been taking that test for over 20 years. So for all the people on the internet that seem to think they know more than me about myself, by all means, continue your ridiculous rants. Yeah, I've never seen number like, because people will be like, yeah, uh, INFJs are statistically the most likely to hate their jobs. Where the fuck is that study? Show and nowhere is the answer. People make that shit like I've never seen a personality test turn people into fucking cultists. Like it's fucking crazy. That's why I don't talk about Myers Briggs. It's not because I despise the test. It's the fucking cult bullshit behind it that I just like, look, man, I'm out. Like if you think you can predict the future with Myers Briggs, please just let me know what the lottery numbers are and leave me alone about everything else. Well, I'm asking, does your hypothesis assume that I'm a sensor? Because you're saying because or maybe I'm reading it backwards, which is altogether possible. Uh, you're an intuitor versus a sensor. Bring that up because my main trait of my so I am having trouble. So here's where I'm struggling. I don't know how your Myers-Briggs example plays into what I'm saying at all. Like, how does you being an intuitor versus what you think 80% of the population is? What are you trying to say? Because Suba is an intuitor, fill in what does that mean, right? So sometimes with you highly intellectual folk, I got to get you to say the shit you're actually saying. Like, what does Myers-Briggs have to do? Maybe that plays a part and maybe a better representation to the foundation behind your example. So which example were you talking about? Remember, YouTube, you guys always have to include context because I'm never going to see your comment at the time you write it. But I'm just having trouble drawing the conclusion, trying to get to the conclusion that or the idea that you're trying to land on. We have a great Yoshi here too. We just need a Mario. I like Toad, man. Toad's my dude. Woo! iFlames work 17 hours a day. Get that sleep, homie. I'm getting ready to bounce too. I'm just trying to get slow ass Suba to write his sentences faster so we can all go to bed while he thinks his shit out so we can understand it. I love picking on these guys, man. Battletoads was friggin' awesome, says Ryan. I'm trying to think, did I ever play the NES Battletoads? I've seen it played 1,000 times. I'm trying to remember if I actually played it in my child. Yeah, I did. I remember getting my ass beat and was like, all right. Comics could equate to a more in your head fantasy type of person versus action figures with action oriented people. MBTI was just, yeah, okay. So that's why I'm having trouble drawing the conclusion, because being intuitive and being sensing doesn't necessarily just like literally all that shit means is how you process information. It's not going to determine whether you're an action oriented person or a person who's more cerebral. That's the shit that people start using Myers-Briggs. I'm like, dude, that's not what it's telling you. Like, I am the most fucking action-oriented person I know, and I am intuitive as shit. You know what I mean? So now I see what you're trying to say. But so no, that wouldn't necessarily play in my example, because you could totally be intuitive. I'm an intuitor according to the Myers-Briggs. But it's just literally, how are you processing information? Are you processing information? Basically, this is how I break it down to keep it really simple. If you're an intuitor, are you processing information based on pattern recognition, right? If you're a sensor, and that's your primary modality. You obviously have sensing tendencies too, at least according to the way this test breaks out the psychographics. Sensing, you're processing information through what you sense, you know? But that, just because you're a sensor doesn't automatically mean, oh, now I'm going to be a creator. Like, I would honestly submit to you that, and the Big Five would be better than this, I think, than the Myers-Briggs, because it's going to compare extroversion to neuroticism, which is positive and negative energy, right? And so the more extroverted person is going to be your action-oriented person. The more neurotic person is going to be your guy that's more cerebral. So that, I don't think that maps to intuitors versus sensors at all. I don't think that maps. I think what you're talking about is neuroticism, negative energy, versus extroversion, which is outwardly positive energy. To make someone very, very like a high motor, you know, B, how do you stay so motivated? Well, first of all, genetically, I have a high fucking motor. I'm super extroverted. Like, I have that kind of energy. But, you know, it's also horseshit. I'm not motivated. Do a lot of shit I don't want to do, and motivation ain't what's getting me to do it. I love my kids, and making them sleep outside is first illegal, and even though they drive me nuts, I still want to love them. So the population was a hypothesis as to why I'd be an outlier in your example. Got you. Okay, I got you. Got you. So you're saying if you're an intuitor, that's why you could be an outlier. But if you were an intuitor, you're talking about the action-oriented parts. I'm just trying to make it all map, because the sensor part doesn't make any sense. But if you were equating sensing to extroversion in what I think is a better description of personality, then I get it. I can see how you would map that. Like, if you're saying the intuitor is more the introvert, which is not necessarily true. Totally extroverted and intuitive. Yeah, I just think you were conflating. I think you were conflating extrovert, intuitor, or I'm sorry, extrovert and extroversion and neuroticism, and you were trying to map them to sensing and intuition, and that's why it just didn't compute to me. Because whether you're a sensor or an intuitor wouldn't determine. And your 20% example mathematically would make sense. Like, oh, of course, Sue would be an outlier. But the problem is, for you to be an outlier, truthfully, I think in your example, you'd more likely be a sensor. But it's more along the lines that you are much less extroverted, I think, is what's contributing to that. Yeah, extroversion and neuroticism would fit the hypothesis. But so then what begs the question is, are all the people that are reading these novels, do they also, like, if this is a slideshow, does that overlay clean to my introvert theory, right? Because it's like, because being introverted is kind of what the Big Five is relating to is neuroticism, but not exactly. I don't know that it's a one for one. I'd have to do a lot more reading to be able to say that with any confidence. But Yeah, I think the extrovert versus neuroticism maps better than sensing and intuition. And so what I'd be curious to know is obviously you map more closely to the neuroticism side, but that would make sense for you loving Bloodborne, but it wouldn't make sense that you love action figures over comics unless you play it with action figures the way I did in a very introverted way because I valued like this is what my super extroverted friends don't get about me is I value my vision over being social. So it's like, yo, do you want to come do this thing with us? No, because what I'm trying to do is this thing right here, and if I bring other heads into it, it's going to change from what my actual vision is. And so I can come across as very introverted because, nah, I don't want to play G.I. Joe with you guys because you're going to make rules and other bullshit. Like, I want to fly the Baroness to my penthouse in New York and get busy. I don't need y'all here for that. All right? I'm out. So that's the whereas it would seem though I would be more neurotic. It's more no. I just am I'm crazily unconventional. So that's where the openness to experience trait comes in. Like I am crazily unconventional, and I can't live in somebody. I just can't live comfortably in somebody else's system. It's part of the reason why psychologically I can't work for people. It's like I can't live in your system because your system's gonna have some shit with it that I just can't. Like no, this is not how we're supposed to do this. But I can't fucking I just can't live in somebody else's vision for my life. It's torture. I did it for a lot of years. It sucked. It made me want to die more than once. All right. Hunter says, is it illegal for them to sleep outside? Whoops. That's funny. That checks out. I made my own world with action figures. Right. So, but that ties in too to why I think you and I like Blood because remember, it's not an all hate relationship. The only thing I cannot get past in those Souls games is the damn combat. I can't do the fucking super nuanced, detailed, exact timing, button mashing bullshit. The game isn't fun. It's not mechanically fun enough for me to want to get good at that. You know, like there's some games where I'm willing to get mechanically good at it, and it's just the game has to be terribly fun for me to want to do that. I'll tell you a game that didn't do that for me. You want an example of Bloodborne, but in a completely different genre for me? Fucking Guacamelee. That game made me want to fly to wherever that developer lives and choke him the fuck out with those and by the way, it's an amazing game for people who like what it is. The timed platforming, it has to be exact. No. It's where I draw the line. It's not going to happen out here on these streets. You feel me? And the only reason I'm not letting the game keep running, guys, is because if I do, it runs in real time and then we'll all die. So I let the stream just basically go off so we can talk to each other to finish this conversation. Occam's razor, yeah. Does my Hexaco explain my current dating situation? I have no idea. Probably. Your openness to experience, for sure. For sure. Stachio says, B, were you an only child or did you grow up as an only child? Partially. No, I'm the last of six, but I'm very young. So I did spend some time as an only child. But no, I grew up in a house full of people. For the most part. I spent the last couple of years at my parents' house. Well, that's not even true because one of my brothers moved back in when I was in high school. So I spent some time as a completely only child, probably about, see if I had to guess, I don't have to guess, I can actually name the years. I spent probably 5 years from when my youngest older brother left home to when my second youngest older brother moved back in. So there was like a 5-year stint of only child stuff. But if you're trying to deduce like why am I so fucking maniacal with doing my own thing because I was an only child, nah, it's totally my genetics, man. I was around all kinds of people and living with people and having to share bathrooms and all that shit. So nah, it's just totally my genes, dog. It's just I can't. Like if you look at my scores, I think I'm 5 out of 5 in unconventionality. It's just like I can't do it your way. You know, it has to be my way, dog. Yeah, and I can do it some people's way. There's just very few people I can. There are very few people's authority that I would submit to. Um, because I have to have utmost trust and respect in you to do that, and I have utmost respect for most people because I think that's right and proper. I don't have utmost trust in most people to be able to do things the way I'd want them done or at the level I'd want them done or yada yada. So it seems your theory is sound and they're one outside variable that separates us from liking loving the game. Yeah, maybe. Because it's just the combat, man. I can't point to anything else in Bloodborne or Dark Souls that I can say negative about. In fact, I praise those games for what they are. It's just that damned super, you have to be surgically precise with your timed button mashings and memorizing the fucking tells, which all kind of look the damn same to a guy who doesn't want to fucking pay this much attention to one damn battle in the game that's not even going to give me that much experience points. Like, it's just the risk reward. Maybe that's it. My threshold for risk reward's probably just like way more amplified than yours. Like, you probably get dopamine in your brain much easier than I do. Like, it takes a fucking you probably get joy out of small things more than I do. Like, and that's a problem for me. That's something I'm actually working on. Part of that is I've been to war. That's just what fucking happens to some of us. Is like you lose taste for simple things that are pleasant. Like you can't get the same high off of simple things in life because I used to get high off of getting shot at. Like it's hard. That's why when you watch movies like The Fast and the Furious, when what's his name's character, God rest his soul, before he died, talking about missing the gunfire, you understand what that means. So I think for me, and that's why a lot of the things that I think people love in the world that I think are mediocre, it's not because they're mediocre. It's because, like, dude, if you've tasted a Cinnabon, and then someone hands you those little nasty brown-ass cinnamon rolls you used to get in high school at lunch, come on, man. It's not that those brown things aren't delicious. They were until I had a Cinnabon. You know what I mean? So I imagine the only thing different between you and I is I need the dopamine spike that comes from feeling like I'm making progress. And that game never lets you feel like you're making fucking progress until you fought for 70 hours, been beaten 200 times, and finally get to beat a boss. And if you know my number one problem in life is wasting time, that feels like a tremendous waste of time, especially when my brain knows there's a faster way to do this. But I don't feel like going to the basic training of watching YouTube videos for 4 hours to fucking learn your dumbass nuance system. Just make it simpler. Or like have an easy mode, and I'd play all those games. If those games had an easy mode where the combat just wasn't a fucking nightmare, and I wouldn't even call Bloodborne or any of those games difficult. I don't like that word for those games because they're not, to me, they're not inherently difficult. They're just inherently obtuse. And not, I guess they're difficult in the sense that they're not exactly easy to figure out what you're supposed to do. But the execution of what you're supposed to do is doable if you know exactly how. Now, I guess there's some dexterity difficulty that I obviously struggle with because I'm older and I react slower. That's probably a lot of the problems I have with those games too. Is I can't react as fast. I'm just have an older brain. I'm not 19. Neuroplasticity is a thing. My reaction times are much slower. Like hell, I was running pass routes with my kids working out today doing football drills, and I was like coming out of my cuts like shit. I am not the dude that used to want to do this professionally. Whew, I could feel my age when I was trying to do those cuts. Like, 'cause I was trying to run like I was balling, and I was like, damn. All right. Yeah, I appreciate that, Yehu. I thank you for saying that, man. It was something that I thought was interesting to talk about. That's why I wanted to bring it up with you guys. Kind of, I use myself as kind of the world's guinea pig. Like I'll tell you guys stories about myself, not because I think they're interesting. It's like I want you guys to hear your shit. Like use me as the guinea pig for for your own ideas, man. That's kind of what I'm trying to spread around here. Ryan B. Joy from small things. You're on one of your walks and stop to take a breather. You see leaves moving. Do you stop and brush the leaves aside and find the baby garden snake and contemplate? Or do you just assume, mold or bugs or something? And keep... No, I have a pretty high appreciation for aesthetic beauty, so I stop. Don't get me wrong, I can appreciate small things, but it's something I'm having to relearn. It's something that kind of gets for me. I can't speak for everybody. It's something that was kind of taken away from me on the battlefield. Was this the battlefield? And this is why. And I'm having these revelations too. And you guys are going to start seeing some new content about this. Just my journey and the things that I go through, the struggles that I face, right? Because everyone kind of sees me as the juggernaut from the X-Men. I'm the juggernaut, bitch. And I am in some ways, but it's like I think about my own struggles too and the things I wrestle with. And one of the things that the battlefield really took from me, or maybe a better way to say it is gave to me, is this, I think, unhealthy sense of urgency. And one of the reasons why I get so frustrated on social media when I see people saying stupid shit to each other and fighting over shit that they're both ignorant on, and like, we can do this better, guys, if we just get better. Like, I have this, I think, almost unhealthy sense of urgency about helping people get better at thinking. And while it does lead me to do a lot of cool things on the internet that are very helpful to people, I think I've had an 8%, 92% I'm good, but I've had like an 8% unhealthy approach to where I was kind of just meditating and praying tonight, and what I was hearing was just like, dude, it's okay to, like, the people you're talking to, for the most part, haven't been to that battlefield, dude. They don't, like, it's okay that they want to, like, and I'm not against any of these things, but it's like, it's okay that they just want to party and have fun all the time. Like, they haven't seen death, and they don't know how quick death is coming for them the way that you do. So let them, like, I'm just getting to the point where I'm taking a step back to say, what is my actual real focus when it comes to helping the masses? I know exactly what I'm doing when I'm helping you guys individually. But when I'm talking to these big audiences, it's like, what do I actually want to say to these cats? Because the truth of the matter is, most of the people listening to me aren't listening to me. Right? They're getting some inspiration or motivation out of what I'm saying in the moment, and then they're off to do their other thing. The people that come around these streams are the people that are actually listening to me. So it's like, if I'm making something for the outside, it's like I've like, if you've seen some of my content has just been more cheerful and less kind of filled with this righteous indignation for the ignorance of the world, right? Or the foolishness of the world is the way I should put that. It ain't all ignorance. Um, but it's like I have this ungodly sense of urgency that I think sometimes is causing me to push people faster than they're ready to run. So I'm trying to pull back on that. And I see it the most with my kids, not even with the stuff I do on the internet. It's like, dude, come on. Homeboy is 4. Let him. So I'm learning that too. It's not just learning to accept joy in the small things, because certainly I have seen highs that there are no drugs on this planet that will take you to some of the shit that I've seen. The way that I experience those emotions there, right? Nothing. There are drugs that can help you relive it if you've been there. but it ain't gonna take you there. That's for damn sure. Um, and I have to recognize that there's just certain things that aren't going to register on my dopamine level, and I see that all the time with my kids because the things that they find funny are sometimes so trivial to me. It's like, yeah, I got it. I get, like, I find myself saying this to a lot of people all the time. It's like, I get why that's funny, but it doesn't make me laugh. And I'm trying to laugh easier at things. But part of that too is I've heard some of the best comedy in the world. So it's like when you've heard the best comics and then you listen to some hack tell shitty jokes, it's not funny. But anyway, the other thing the battlefield gave me was this sense of urgency that we're all dying soon. And I just think one of the things I'm coming to acceptance with is the world doesn't understand that. And I think they want to not understand that. And they would be much obliged if I'd leave them the fuck alone about it. And just let them enjoy their party because we're all getting out of here dead. And that's what I got for you guys today. That is the ramblings of a crazy man. So please do not try any of this shit I just said at home. I love you all. Let me take the last minute comments here to make sure I'm not saying or missing anything, rather. All right. Ryan allegedly sent me messages. Let's see what that's about. Thought it'd be something fun to play on stream. Oh, that sounds like what your friends do to you when you get high. They start taking taking parts of the word out so that you think you're crazy. Not that I would have ever done anything like that in my younger days. Ah! We are indeed stronger than I, Clem. Better believe it, man. And I'm certainly stronger because all of you are here, so I thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you guys are in my life. You guys are a part of my mission, and I'm better for having had you here. It's always a pleasure to share not only the field of battle with each and every one of you, but all the oxygen and nitrogen that your lungs, organs, and bloodstream can handle. I love you all much. We are indeed stronger than I, and I will most likely see y'all mañana. Peace out.